Good morning, everybody. We are about to go for another airplane ride. It's another day in a network admin's life. Let's get off the ground here and have some fun. I'm actually going to try to smile in these videos, because this is fun. Oakdale traffic, Cessna 2489 is going to be departing runway 10 to the south, Oakdale.
Oakdale traffic, Skyline 7603 X-ray, inbound from runway 10, 10 miles to the north, inbound from runway 10, Oakdale traffic.
And Oakdale traffic, Cessna 8905 is rolling on 10, Oakdale. Airspeed's alive. Coming up on rotation speed. There's rotation speed. Hold the nose in this attitude. And gently leave the ground. A little bright and sunny today. I'm going to be grimacing for a little while here because I'm staring straight into the sun. As I get a little altitude here, I'm going to turn away from it. Okay, there's 700 feet, that's enough. Just wanted to be above these power lines. So I'm going to turn towards the south here, like I promised I would. There we go.
Los Angeles traffic, Swift 317 is at 3 mile 45 for left downwind 32 Los Angeles.
I'll get up to about, 2,000 feet.
Oakdale traffic, Grumman 5812 Lima, departing runway 10. We'll be headed south.
Well, California's dust harvest is in full bloom. There is dust plumes everywhere as farmers are shaking the almond trees and sweeping.
Oakdale traffic, Skyline 7603 X-ray, entering a left base, runway 10, Oakdale.
I'm going to grab a picture of that so everybody knows what I'm talking about. And indeed, as I climb up to 2,000 feet here, I can feel it getting warmer. We got a full-blown temperature inversion today, which we always do. All right, there's 2,000 feet.
Oakdale traffic, Grumman 5812 Lima, departure leg 10, right turn out to the south, Oakdale traffic.
Gonna level off here. Throttle down to my cruising throttle setting. About 2,400 RPMs. And I'm gonna be looking for airplane. Got one up ahead of me, same altitude. So I am going to be looking for him. Should be like almost right off my nose. Looks like he's headed to Modesto. Bugs on the windscreen can look a lot like airplanes, so that's why I kind of move my head around to shift the bugs out of my field of view so they don't look like airplanes to me. I can see which way they're moving and discount them as possible airborne threats. All right, he is dead off my nose. And he is going that way. He's still a ways out there, so I don't think that's going to be any problem. we'll watch for him anyway. Okay, he is passing to from my 12 to my 1 o'clock, so he should be out of my way. And I don't see anybody else, so that's good. So what a week in the life of a network admin it has been. Not this past week, but the week before I ended up with our healthcare interpreter network, which is telephones used to translate different languages. We have a network and a router that goes directly to them. And it went down, so I spent a lot of time working with the vendor to get that network up and running again. Their T1 router died, so we had to come up with some workarounds for that, which we did, and they were in place, but they were not the best. So she sent me a replacement router, and I went down and took the router into the basement where the other router is. Was getting ready to swap out the modules, one router to the other, and I tried to turn the dead one on again, because that's what happened, is it just wouldn't power on. You power switch off and on and it wouldn't do anything. So I decided, well, let's open it up and use some compressed air and blow it all out, which I did, and nothing. So I got mad at it and I just slammed it on the counter, and I saw a little bit more dust fall out. And I thought, hey, I wonder. So I took the compressed air and blew even more dust out than I had blown before. And when I couldn't blow any more dust out, I gave it one more tap on the counter, no more dirt fell out, blew it one more time just to be sure. I plugged it in, turned on the switch, and...
Skyline 760, X-ray, cleared active, runway 0. Okay.
And bingo, it powered up. So I put the cover back on, and I plugged the T1 line back in and called the vendor and asked her if she could get to it. And she was extremely pleased that she could. So I just left it there on the table with the cables plugged in. It'll probably stay that way till I retire. But yeah, that's that HCIN network is now back up. So we are happy about that. That's how the week before last ended. This week, we had 2 major projects involving our pathology lab. We have a pneumatic tube system which takes blood samples and tissue samples from all over the campus to the lab. They put them in a little, like you have at the bank, they put them in a little tube and send it off to the lab. Well, they're doing an upgrade on that this week, and then the lab is also doing an upgrade on their refrigerator temperature sensors all across the campus. We've got refrigerators here and there that monitor, or that store blood and medicine and things like that. The lab's mostly concerned about blood and samples, tissue samples, blood samples that are kept in the refrigerator until they can be sent to the lab. So the lab monitors the temperature of all those refrigerators, and they were upgrading the monitors. And the vendors doing these projects, neither of them were very tech savvy at all. So it was kind of a pain having to explain to basically plumbers and refrigeration technicians how networking works. But they were pretty sure they knew how it works, and they were explaining it to me, which was entertaining. So anyway, all week long, I just kept getting called back and forth for different things, tagging VLANs mostly. And that continued all the way up to about 15 minutes before this flight began on Saturday. There was still another port they needed tagged, untagged, really. So I had to set that up and then told them, hey guys, sorry, I'm going to be unavailable for about 2 hours. Because I got to do this. I got to get up and fly and just blow off some steam. Get up here and then get above the world and above the networks.
Los Banos traffic. This is a Skylane 68 Mike at 4,000 feet inbound right traffic 14. Los Banos traffic.
Thank you for that, sir, Mr. Pilot, sir. So right now I'm just circling around Modesto's airspace, trying to stay out of their way, and I'm headed over to the west side of our big valley, and gonna attempt landing on a friend's private strip that he has there. So we'll just see how that goes. Well, I didn't end up landing at my friend's strip. I ended up flying over here to New Jerusalem, which is where I used to fly my powered parachute, my powered paraglider. And I ran into my old buddy Charlie, who was flying his powered parachute here. So I decided to stop and talk rather than land at my buddy's strip. So that was fun, catching up with Charlie and meeting his girlfriend. And so yeah, I'm just waiting to get on out of New Jay here, waiting for this landing traffic. And then I'm going to head on back to Oakdale and call it a day. So let's get this road on the show.
Traffic 637, going for taxi 30, Jerusalem traffic.
We'll taxi back on the taxiway on the left, New Jerusalem. New Jerusalem traffic, Cessna 637, clear runway 30, New Jerusalem.
New Jay traffic, Cessna 248905 is departing runway 30 to the east, New Jay. Okay, airspeed is alive. Coming up on rotation speed here, there we are. Hold that attitude, and off we go. Once I get up to about 600 feet, I will turn. And head back towards Oakdale. Check my squelch, there we go. All right, there's 600 feet. And I'm only going to climb to about 1,500 feet because it's getting hot. The temperature inversion is kind of makes you feel a little sweaty. Despite the heat, it is a beautiful day. Enjoyed catching up with my old powered parachute buddy down there. And I don't see any traffic between here and Oakdale, not yet. And coming up on 1,500 feet here, we're gonna level out. And throttle back. Save the engine and some gas. Yeah, I ended up not landing at my buddy's strip because it's a little on the short side. And this is a rented airplane. So I think I'm gonna wait until the temperature's a little cooler. The air is a little denser, and therefore the aircraft's performance will be a little better. Because there are some pretty hefty power lines at the end of that runway. Well, not right at the end, but they're off the end. You know, the big high tension power lines. And I don't want to have to turn too aggressively or climb too steeply to miss them. So I'll wait for a cooler day when the airplane's performing a little better. Being a scaredy cat served me well for lo these many years, and I'm not about to stop. Because I want to live. Do you hear? Live. So I think what I will do is grab this camera, turn it around, and just enjoy the flight back to Oakdale. So stand by while we flip you around. There you are. Enjoy our dusty valley. Can't believe all the dust plumes out there. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera or not, but I can sure see them. Now that the camera's not on me, I can go back to my resting-faced scowl that my face apparently wants to go into when I'm not expressing any emotions. I see a couple of airplanes right in front of me. They're right on top of each other, so I am guessing they are flying formation. They are about 100 feet below me. One of them's turning. Yep, not anymore. There was a time you could fly out here and you'd never see anybody, but as the economy's gotten better, more people are flying. And of course, we didn't have ADS-B back then either. So we didn't, this traffic was kind of a newfangled thing. I am looking for these two airplanes, but I cannot see them. So I guess they're off to my side anyway. I just like to look for them, see if I can find them. And no, I cannot. They're lost in the ground clutter. They are below me, so not a factor. So what I'm going to do is just keep my eyes up and looking for traffic. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but there's a canal out there in front of us. We're going to roughly follow that back to Oakdale. It's pointing roughly in the direction I want to go. We're just going to follow these roads, canals, and whatever due east. That'll take me right to Oakdale. Flying over the teeming metropolis of, well, we're not directly over, between the teeming metropolis of Ripon and Salida. And I'm guessing Ripon is where I will be eating lunch later in the day because my wife loves to eat lunch in Ripon. She just likes it. It's a nice small town. It's like Mayberry. Everybody knows everybody there, and there's a main street. They have parades, and it's just a neat little town. It was kind of a, I don't know if it was a Dutch settlement, but there's a lot of Dutch people that live there, a lot of descendants of Dutch settlers that came out here in the 1800s. So my last name is Dutch, well, Flemish actually, but it looks Dutch to most people. And that's what they always ask me, do you live in Ripon? No, I don't. I live in Modesto, land of the free, home of the brave. Because you got to be brave to live there. I'm just kidding. It's a great town. Both my kids are born there. They're always going to look at it as their hometowns. They'll probably never leave. And that's okay. I never had a hometown growing up. I was a Navy brat. So we were always moving, always changing cities, always having to make new friends and leave old ones. I say always, but we quit doing that when I was about 5 or 6. But we moved out to California when I was 10. So I had to do it all over again out here. That was no easy task because California and the people living here were very different than the folks I had left in Georgia. As laid back as California is, the culture can be a little mean, especially if you're used to the smiling politeness of the South. But, you know, out here in California, at least you know when people are mad at you. And the south, everybody always smiles whether they're mad or not, so it's hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, we got Modesto passing off of our left wing. I can vaguely see my neighborhood over there. Hi, honey. The city in front of us, which is probably obscured by the nose of the airplane, is...
traffic, 9 Kilo Victor, 15 miles.
Watts Woodland, light 4, turning left base, 36, Watts Woodland, full stop.
City in front of us is the teeming metropolis of Riverbank. Riverbank, the city of action. And beyond that, just to our, well, about our 11 o'clock in the dusty distance is the city of Oakdale.
Oakdale traffic, that's not 44 Delta Mike. Departing 10, closed traffic, Oakdale.
Well, they were using 10 when I left, and they're still using 10, which means I got to land into the sun.
Wattsville traffic, skydiving over the airport in 1 minute. 1 minute call, Wattsville.
Yippee skippy. That's okay, we'll deal with it. Just I know where he is. He's on. He's going to stay closed traffic in Oakdale, so I can kind of come up on a left 45 to 28, but then I will join the pattern for 10. Sequence myself in with that gentleman. So looking down at my ADS-B display, I can see 44 Delta Mike turning left crosswind, getting ready to turn left downwind, so he ought to be calling in a second here. Oakdale traffic, Cessna 24895 is about 3 miles to the southwest. We'll be entering on a left crosswind for runway 10 Oakdale, and I'll be looking for the traffic in the pattern. Oakdale.
Oakdale traffic, Cessna 44 Delta Mike, turning final 10, Oakdale.
And Oakdale traffic, 895 has the traffic on final, Oakdale. Oakdale traffic, Cessna 895 is left crosswind over the numbers for runway 10, Oakdale.
Oakdale traffic, Cessna 44 Delta Mike, clear the traffic, taxiing 10. Oakdale.
And Oakdale traffic, Cessna 895 is turning left downwind, runway 10, Oakdale. All right, enough happy banter. Clean cockpit, I'm on my approach. Here we go. Oakdale traffic, Cessna 895 is turning left base, runway 10, Oakdale. Oakdale traffic, 895 is turning final, runway 10, and I have the departing traffic in sight, Oakdale. Oakdale traffic, 895 is clear the active, Oakdale.
Oakdale traffic, Cessna 44 Delta Mike, departing 10, left closed traffic, Oakdale.